Mike Tyson stands in front of a microphone, 20 years old, sweat still dripping from his face, blood not his own splattered across his torso, and a reporter asks him about breaking Jesse Ferguson's nose during the fight. What Tyson says in the next 8 words doesn't just shock the room. It reveals something about the relationship between violence and honesty that the boxing world isn't ready to hear. The 16th of February 1986, New York. The Glens Falls Civic Center, a regional venue. This is still early Tyson, 20 years old, 220 pounds of compressed violence. 18 months into his professional career, undefeated, 20 wins, 0 losses. 19 of those wins by knockout, but not yet famous, not yet champion. Still hungry, still the weapon Cus D'Amato is sharpening. Jesse Ferguson stands across the ring, 27 years old, 225 pounds. Longer reach, more experience, respectable record. He's not elite, but he's not a tomato can either. He's faced real competition, survived rounds with legitimate heavyweights. This is supposed to be Tyson's toughest test yet. The fight that tells the boxing world whether this young destroyer is real or just another hyped prospect beating up nobodies. Ferguson knows the assignment. He's here to expose Tyson. Show that the young kid crumbles against size and experience. Show that the peekaboo defense doesn't work against a thinking fighter. Ferguson trained hard for this. Studied Tyson's patterns. Knows Tyson likes to come forward, close distance, work the body, then explode to the head. Ferguson plans to use his reach advantage. Keep Tyson at range. Jab, circle, make it ugly. Survive the early rounds when Tyson is freshest, then attack when the young fighter tires. The bell rings. Round 1. Tyson comes out of his corner in that distinctive crouch, head moving side to side, hands high, elbows tight. Peekaboo stance that Cus drilled into him 10,000 times. Ferguson establishes his jab immediately. Pop, pop, trying to control distance. Keep Tyson at the end of his punches. Tyson slips inside, faster than Ferguson expected. Body shot, liver. Ferguson's face grimaces. That hurt. More than he thought it would. Tyson doesn't wind up. Just snaps punches from close range. Short, compact, devastating. Ferguson tries to clinch, slow things down, catch his breath. The referee separates them. Ferguson resets. Tries the jab again. Tyson is already inside it. Left hook to the body. Right uppercut. Ferguson's head snaps back. The power is real. This isn't hype. This kid hits like someone 50 pounds heavier. Round 2. Ferguson is hurt but surviving. His corner told him to box. Stay on the outside. Use movement. But Tyson doesn't give space. Doesn't allow recovery. Just keeps coming forward. Relentless. Mechanical. Like something programmed to destroy. Ferguson lands a good right hand. Clean. Catches Tyson on the temple. For a moment, Ferguson thinks maybe he can turn this around. Then Tyson smiles. Not a friendly smile. Something else. Something cold. The smile of someone who enjoyed getting hit because now he has permission to hit back harder. Tyson explodes forward. 3-punch combination. Jab, right cross, left hook, all land clean. Ferguson stumbles backward. His legs are gone. Not unconscious, just disconnected. The body refusing to obey commands. Tyson is on him. Another combination. Referee watching closely. Ferguson is still standing but not defending. Just surviving. The bell saves him. Round 2 ends. Ferguson goes back to his corner on unsteady legs. Round 3. Ferguson's corner worked on him, gave him smelling salts, told him to survive. Make it through this round. Get to the middle rounds where Tyson supposedly slows down. Ferguson comes out defensive, hands high, moving constantly, trying to steal time. Tyson doesn't wait, doesn't probe, just attacks. He's inside Ferguson's guard, working the body. Methodical destruction. Liver shots, rib shots, breaking down the structure. Then, it happens. Tyson throws a right uppercut. Perfect timing, perfect placement, catches Ferguson coming in. The punch travels 6 inches. No wind-up, Just explosive transfer of energy from legs through hips through shoulder through fist, connects with Ferguson's nose, dead center. The sound. Everyone in the arena hears it. Not the thud of a normal punch. Something sharper, wetter. The sound of cartilage and bone restructuring instantly. Ferguson's nose explodes. Not breaks. Explodes. Blood sprays. Covers Tyson's shoulder and chest. Covers the referee. Ferguson's eyes go wide. Not from pain. From shock. From the realization that something in his face just moved in ways faces aren't supposed to move. He stumbles backward. Hands go to his face. Blood pouring through his fingers. The referee steps in. Calls time. Doctor climbs into the ring. Examines Ferguson. The nose is destroyed. Flattened. Pushed to the side. Bone fragments visible through torn skin. The doctor looks at Ferguson. Asks if he can continue. Ferguson, to his credit, nods. He wants to keep fighting. The doctor allows it. This is 1986. Different era. Different rules about fighter safety. The fight continues. Ferguson is tough. Incredibly tough. He survives the rest of round 3. Survives rounds 4, 5, 6. His face is a horror show. Nose completely destroyed. Both eyes swelling shut, mouth bleeding. But he won't quit. Won't give Tyson the satisfaction. The referee finally stops it in round 6. Technical knockout. Ferguson is done. Can't see. Can't breathe through his nose. Can't defend himself. 20 years old. Just delivered one of the most vicious beatings the boxing world has seen in years. He walks back to his corner. Sits on the stool. His trainer wipes blood off his face and chest. Not all of it comes off. Some has dried. Stuck to his skin. The locker room after. Tyson is showering. Cold water, washing away the evidence. Blood swirls down the drain. Pink water circling. He towels off. Puts on a simple white t-shirt and black warm-up pants. No entourage. No celebration. Just Tyson and his team. Quiet. Professional. The press conference. A small room. 20 reporters. Folding chairs. A microphone on a table. Tyson sits down. Still looks boyish despite what he just did. Round face. Soft features. When he's not fighting, he looks like someone's younger brother. The reporters start with standard questions. How did you feel out there? Ferguson was tough. How did you adjust? Tyson gives short answers. Professional. Controlled. Then one reporter asks the question. The one that changes everything. Mike, in round 3, you broke Jesse Ferguson's nose. It looked painful. Can you talk about that moment? What were you thinking when you landed that punch? Tyson looks at the reporter. No emotion on his face. Just looks at him. The room goes quiet. Everyone waiting. Tyson speaks. 8 words. Clear. Direct. No hesitation. No shame. No attempt to soften it. I tried to punch his nose into his brain. Silence. Complete silence. The reporters look at each other. Did he just say what they think he said? Tyson continues. Matter of fact, like he's explaining a recipe. I tried to push the bone of his nose back into his brain. That's what I was trying to do. Drive it through the skull. The room stays frozen. One reporter finds his voice. Asks, You were trying to kill him? Tyson doesn't flinch. No, I was trying to hurt him bad enough that he wouldn't want to continue. That's boxing. You hurt someone until they quit, or the referee stops it. Another reporter, but you said you tried to push his nose into his brain. Tyson nods. Yes, that's the most effective way to end a fight quickly. Maximum damage, maximum pain, maximum psychological impact. It's not illegal, it's just effective. The press conference continues, but the damage is done. The quote spreads. I tried to punch his nose into his brain. Every newspaper. Every sports broadcast. Every conversation about the fight. Not Tyson's skill. Not his perfect technique. Not his undefeated record. Just that quote. The raw, honest, terrifying admission of what he was trying to do in the ring. The boxing world reacts. Some trainers defend it. Say Tyson is just being honest about what every fighter thinks but doesn't say. say boxing is about hurting people and pretending otherwise is hypocritical. Others condemn it. Say Tyson is a sociopath. Say he's dangerous. Say the sport needs to distance itself from this kind of mentality. Say there's a difference between controlled violence in sport and sadistic enjoyment of causing pain. The public is split. Some are horrified. Say Tyson is everything wrong with boxing. Say he represents violence without honor. Say he's giving the sport a bad name. Others are fascinated. Say Tyson is the first fighter honest enough to admit what combat sports are really about. Say everyone else is lying when they claim to respect their opponents. Say Tyson is refreshingly real in a world of fake sportsmanship. But here's what most people miss. What Tyson said wasn't unusual in terms of intention. Every elite fighter thinks about inflicting maximum damage. Every fighter in the ring is trying to hurt their opponent badly enough to end the fight. That's the sport. That's what boxing is. The unusual part was the honesty, the willingness to say it out loud, without softening it, without the usual athlete speak about respecting opponents and just doing my job. Tyson said the quiet part loud, and the world couldn't handle it. Years later, Tyson would reflect on this moment differently, would talk about how that honesty was actually a warning sign, not about being violent in the ring, that's expected, but about the relationship he had with violence, the enjoyment, the lack of boundaries between the controlled violence Cus taught him and the uncontrolled rage from Brownsville. Cus D'Amato died 4 months before this fight, November 1985. Tyson was 19. Lost the only father figure he'd ever had, the only person who could control him, the only person who made him believe discipline mattered more than rage. Without coups, Tyson was still technically perfect, still devastatingly effective. But the internal governor was gone, the voice that said violence is a tool, not an identity, the wisdom that separated the fighter in the ring from the person outside it. The Ferguson fight was the first glimpse of what Tyson would become without Cus. Not less skilled, not less powerful, but less controlled, less guided, more honest about the darkness. And that honesty terrified people. Because deep down, everyone understands that combat sports require a certain relationship with violence, require the ability to hurt someone, to keep hurting them even when they're clearly losing, to finish them even when they're helpless. That's the sport. That's what makes someone a champion instead of a sparring partner. But society needs fighters to pretend, needs them to say it's just business, just competition, just sport, needs the violence wrapped in respectability, covered in sportsmanship, hidden behind phrases like mutual respect and warrior spirit. Tyson refused to pretend. Said it plainly, "I'm trying to hurt you badly. I'm trying to break you. I'm trying to push your nose bone into your brain." And in doing so, he held up a mirror to the sport, forced everyone to acknowledge what boxing actually is, forced fans to confront what they're watching when they cheer for a knockout, forced other fighters to either admit the same truth or call Tyson a monster while doing the exact same thing with prettier words. Jesse Ferguson, for his part, respected Tyson's honesty. Years later, in interviews, Ferguson would say he appreciated that Tyson didn't pretend, didn't act like they were friends, didn't disrespect him by lying about intentions. Ferguson knew what he signed up for, knew Tyson was trying to hurt him, would have been insulted if Tyson held back. The honesty felt more respectful than false sportsmanship. The real question isn't whether Tyson should have said it. The question is, why are we more comfortable with the violence than with the honesty about the violence? Why can we watch someone get their nose destroyed, watch blood spray across the ring, watch a man stumble with broken bones, and call it entertainment? But when the fighter admits he was trying to cause exactly that damage, we call him a monster? Maybe Tyson's 8 words were a gift, a wake-up call, a reminder that combat sports require a relationship with violence that civilized society wants to pretend doesn't exist, that every knockout you cheer for required someone trying to hurt someone else badly enough to shut down their brain. That's the sport. That's what you're watching. Tyson just refused to let you forget it. So here's the real lesson. Honesty about darkness doesn't create the darkness. It just makes it visible. Tyson didn't become violent because he admitted his intentions. He admitted his intentions because he was being honest about what the sport required. The question isn't whether Tyson was wrong to say it. The question is whether we're wrong to demand that fighters lie about what they're doing, whether we're wrong to enjoy violence but condemn honesty about violence, whether we're wrong to want warriors who pretend to be something other than what they are. Who in your life are you asking to pretend? Who are you demanding perform the violence you need but hide the truth of what they're doing? And are you honest about your own darkness? Or do you hide it behind prettier words while doing the exact same things? Because 8 words in 1986 taught the boxing world something it didn't want to learn. That the monster and the champion are the same person. That the violence we celebrate and the violence we condemn are identical. That the only difference is whether someone is honest enough to admit what they're doing. Mike Tyson was honest. And the world called him a monster for it. Maybe that says more about the world than it does about Tyson.